And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Ryan Metzler.
Hey everybody, Ryan Metzler here again today, and today we're going to be taking a look at Oh Gnome You Don't. This game was kindly provided to me by BoardGameExchange.com in order to review. If you like the game, why don't you check out their site. But for now, this is a roll and move game, so it's pretty standard, basic game. You're going to roll the dice, you're going to move, you're going to play some cards, and after that you're going to be trying to acquire gems using those cards. The game is for 2 to 5 players. It says that it's for 13 plus, but I'm pretty sure you can play with kids well under the age of 10 for this game. And it says it's going to take about 90 minutes, and I find that to be a little bit of an exaggeration too. So, now that we've covered all the details, why don't we take a look at what's inside of the box, how the game plays, and what my thoughts are on it. So this is what you get in the box for Oh Gnome You Don't, and you'll see you have a pretty generic board with some decent art, and it's basically just a path. So this path starts at start here, and it's going to weave around all the way until you get to the finish. And the idea of this game is that you are gnomes trying to collect goods that you are going to sell at various stores, and there's 3 stores on the game. There's the Grub and Grog Pub, the Gnome Depot, the Toadstool Cafe. I guess there's actually 4 stores. And then there's the Tinkerer's Cart, which is a special store that I'll go over at the end. But on your turn, you're going to be doing some pretty simple things, and the whole goal is to be collecting these gems. So you can see these gems here. They're pretty nice quality. They're just little plastic, and they come in a bunch of different colors. And the colors just denote what they're worth. So black is 1, blue is 3, red is 5, and yellow is 10. And so on the turn, the first player is going to roll a die, and they're going to have a hand of cards, but they'll roll this die, and they'll move that many spaces. So let's say green's first. And after that, they're able to play a card from their hand. And you'll start with 2 cards, and you're going to start with some basic cards, which are goods. And these are going to be what you're going to be selling. So you'll see here, we have juniper berries, and it says that you can sell these at the Grub and Grog Pub for 6, or if you sell it to a different store, you can sell them for 4. Or you have firewood, and this firewood can be sold at the Gnome Depot for 6, but if you sell it at any other store, it's a 4. And so what you're trying to do is get these and sell them at the right stores at the right times. Now, you have no say over when you get these, you're just going to be drawing them, but you do have a say as to whether or not you sell them at a specific store. So after you've moved, you can play a card, and like I said, there's these good cards, here's another good, there's blueberries, and this one sells at the Toadstool Cafe. Or there's going to be these purple cards, and purple cards do various different things. They're more like action cards. They're going to allow you to do certain stuff. So we have clovers, and these are going to allow you to either discard cards and draw some more cards, or you can use it to play the card and then play 2 more cards after that. Or we have springtime, and on springtime, instead of rolling this gnome, he's going to go backwards 4 spaces, and then he's going to be able to play a card. So this one allows you to move backwards 4 spaces, or move a gnome backwards 4 spaces. You have mining, which allows you to roll a die and get some more gems. Or you have the mole tunnel, which after rolling and moving, you can use it to take some actions and move up to 2 spaces forward or back. Finally, there's some other cards, and these are more of the direct interaction type of cards. They're reds and they're interrupts. And the main one is going to be Oh Gnome You Don't, which just stops somebody else from using a card on you. There's also going to be Pull My Finger, which you can start some fights in the advanced variant. And if you use Pull My Finger, the gnome simply just goes back 2 spaces that you were going to fight with. And lastly, there's a Dirty Trick, which is also for the brawling variant, that's going to allow you to add your lowest brawl card to whatever card you played in the fight. So that's basically the game. You're going to move, you're going to play cards, and your whole point is to get these goods into play so that when you get to the stores you can sell them. So you'll move along, and when you get to a store you go in and you'll sell your things. So if I were to sell these blueberries at this store, I would get 4 gems, and I'd take that in the highest possible denomination, so I'd take a 3 and a 1, and I would add that to my gems. Now, you're going to go around the whole board doing this, going to this store, and then this store, and then when you get to the Tinkerer's Cafe, all goods you actually roll a die for. So even if I had these blueberries, which is 4 at any store, I would actually roll a die, and since I rolled a 4, well, I'm still going to get 4 for it, but if I rolled a 1, I would only get 1 for this good. And you're going to play until you get to the finish, until all players get to the finish, so yellow gets to the finish. And whoever has the most gems is going to win. Now, there is a slight variant. in which when any two players share the same space, you have these brawl cards. They say brawl on the back. And they're numbered 1 through 10. And basically both players on the same spot would choose one of these cards to play. So maybe yellow plays the 10 and green is going to play an 8. And so in this case, yellow would win and green would give him 2 gems because the difference between 10 and 8 is 2. That is the whole game. There's not much to it. So with that said, let's take a look at what I think of it. So now that you've seen how the game plays, you can probably imagine if you've seen my other reviews that this is not really the type of game that I'm going to be playing. It's simply rolling the die, getting some cards, putting them into play, and hoping everything goes right for you. There's no strategy at all, except for if you use the advanced variant in playing the brawl cards, and even then it's a pretty obvious choice. You're going to want to play as high as you possibly can in order to not lose gems or to get gems from the gnome that you're sharing the space with. Now, at the same time, I think that this game does offer something nice for kids. Now, it suggests 13 and up, and I honestly don't think that a 13-year-old is going to get that much enjoyment out of this game. But for younger children, maybe around 7, 8, they'll probably enjoy this game. You know, it's got similarities to Monopoly or to Chutes and Ladders or to things like that. With a little bit of addition, you can trade in gems to get bigger or smaller values, and that way if you lose some gems, you're not losing as much. And you know, it does offer some general gameplay that might be good for younger children getting into gaming. So, Oh Gnome You Don't, not a great game, not a highly strategic game, but one probably good for the younger members of your family. To try this title and over 800 others before you buy them, check out BoardGameExchange.com.
Thanks for joining us today. For more written, audio, and video reviews, as well as the #1 board game podcast, check out the website at www.thedicetower.com. Until then, this is Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.